Hi, good afternoon and welcome to another Costa Women Hangout with me, Fiona Catchpole. And today my special guest is all the way up in Madrid and it's Kirstin Donovan. Good morning, Kirstin.
Morning, Fiona. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm not supposed to talk about the weather. I was on a show the other day where the guest 101 was people talking about the weather. But it's certainly been quite changeable here, but we're doing okay now. We've had a little bit of flooding, but we're coping. How about you?
Interesting. Yeah, very unpredictable in Madrid. It's a bit of a bipolar this week. Sunny, rainy, same day. So you never know what to expect. Yeah.
I know. It causes havoc with footwear for me. Is it sandals, shoes, boots? Don't know.
Definitely, definitely. The scarf, the jacket, or not. You take so many things, you end up carrying half of it at the end of the day. It's quite frustrating.
Yeah.
It should make its mind up.
Yeah. So listen now. Like I say, you're up in Madrid. Tell us a little bit about your business and what you actually do. Who is Kirsten O'Donovan?
Okay, great. So, Fiona, so I work from Madrid and I have two sides of my business. So, I'm a productivity coach and I basically work with people to help them to get more organized, to achieve more of a work-life balance and to improve their time. So, half of my work is mainly in the United States. So, I do a lot of coaching over there in big companies and then coaching English people here in Spain, which is great. And then also another part of my work in Spain is I do skills training here. So I'm actually working with Spanish people and I'm teaching them skills that they would learn in Spanish but in English. So they're kind of developing two things at the same time, their English and their skills. So that's
Okay, so that side of your business, I guess you do face to face, yeah?
Yeah, so that's face to face, and that's literally the workshops. Going in having an 8-hour workshop with some people here, and that's all personal. And then, obviously the clients here face to face, but a lot of my work done with the States is just via Skype or Google Hangout like this. It's very international.
Okay, so you can do actually like the coaching and things like that over the internet, and you're using Hangouts or Skype to do that, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah, it's a great tool.
That is when they're working properly. We've just had a little bit of a gripe about them between us, and we seem to be having. I have to have a look at the playback because I'm not quite sure what's happening now either. It's so slow. So.
I know. I just want to say touch wood because there seems to be a different story. Murphy's Law.
Yeah, we're having a few. If anybody's listening to the playback, quite often what I found is the playback looks absolutely fine, and we're sat here talking to each other, going, "Are you there? Are you there?" Because you've disappeared off the screen or the sound, and it's hard to tell. So it's one of these things. Unless you've done a Google Hangout, you don't know how actually tricky they can be to master.
So we might have some surprises later.
And what about Kirstin as a Costa Women? When did you get involved with Costa Women?
So I've been involved with Costa Women for about 2 years now, I think, about 2.5 years. And I just think it's such a great, something that Addie's put together for everyone, for the expats here, the English, for us to network and kind of support each other and create the community here in Spain. And I've just seen it growing and growing. So I would actually like to be more involved. I'm getting more involved now. But for my experience so far, it's just been so great, to have come across them, and it's been about 2.5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Were you able to do much networking with women in business in Spain before, or has that been sort of like the key aspect of it for you?
Well, I think definitely the key aspect's been the networking part in Madrid because it's specifically the thing is, as well, why I'm also kind of leaning towards Costa Women is because it's a lot about for women, and one of my big passions is leadership in Spain. It's actually something I'm quite involved in. On the other side, one of the many things I do is networking with women and kind of growing that base. So Costa Women in unfortunately it's much more in the south. I feel a lot on the coast, which is expensive. But I think it's kind of growing a bit to Madrid, so that's nice to see that tendency.
Okay, that'll be cool. We'll all have to pop up and see you sometime. We'll have to arrange a sort of like an intercambio or something like that, where the Costa del Sol girls come up to Madrid. We've got a big event next Tuesday, actually, for International Women's Day, and we've got a big sort of social networking event down here. So we'll say a big high five to you guys up in Madrid, though.
Fabulous, that's great.
Going back to what is productivity coaching, though? What could we expect from you if we were to? I'd love to show your website, but I've found that screen sharing slows down the process, and we've just managed to stabilize things.
Okay.
But we will put all the links underneath your website, and it's just remind me of your website address.
So my website is topresultscoaching.com. Yeah. So it's one word, Top Results Coaching. So,
explain a little bit about that and what we could expect and how we would improve our productivity. I think I need to.
So it is quite you know, an interesting topic, and I think basically for me it's, you know, as we take on, it just seems we take on more and more as we life just seems to be taking a pattern. So, you know, our work, we're more demanded, you know, our family, from our friends, from our social life, we still need to look after ourselves. So there's just, people are finding it much more difficult to obtain this work-life balance. And, you know, so basically what I do is I go in there and I look at, well, you know, basically where are you right now and what's not working for you? Where do you want to go and what needs to change specifically with how you're managing your time? And, you know, what's really interesting, Fiona, is people look at time management like it's, you know, this boring kind of, I've got to work up a to-do list. But no, it's actually about habits. And how we habitually manage our lives is how we use our time. So I'm really going from that aspect, and I look at, you know, we're not taught these skills. We're not taught how to be more productive, how to create habits that support us, you know, how to create an environment that's going to help us stay more focused and concentrate more, as opposed to using willpower, you know, these things. So I just really get practical again and take things back to the basic. You know, there's a lot of, I think it's just a lot of people lack information. And, you know, I just basically provide that information, put it in a way that they're able to easily apply it and get results, you know, almost instantly.
And do you do it over more than one session? What's the general sort of, how many times does somebody normally have to speak to you before they've changed their habits and make progress with their productivity?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and probably one you might not like the answer.
Yeah.
The thing is, Fiona, when we talk about habits, it is the most difficult thing to change, and that's why people stay with habits, even though it's not serving them. So it does take, you know, normally from, you know, a month to 3 months to really, if you're looking for a huge change in your lifestyle. But you know, with regards to pure time management, you can see results within 2 weeks by just changing some things. It all depends on the extent of the person's challenges, how much effort they're willing to put in to change that, and then, you know, how much we're working with. But I would say between like a month and 3 months is the ideal coaching relationship to get somebody up and running. But, you know, you still have clients like who would want to put in more of a routine, but then they might have problems with their time because maybe they're not very assertive. Then you've got to deal with, why are you not assertive? So, you know, things that affect your time are not purely time management, but they are part of your time management.
Okay. Okay. No, that sounds interesting. I hadn't really considered about, obviously, it's not just a case of this is what you do at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's the whole, it is your, like you said, habits, isn't it? I mean, is this not correct? And I heard something that it takes 28 days to change a habit, but it's longer than that, then, really?
No, I mean, you're true. It's, you know, the science has shown us it takes 21 to 28 days to change a habit. If you're continuously making that effort daily, if you stop for one day, you lose that, well, you know, how should we say that? You kind of break the process. And basically it's just, you know, creating new neural pathways. However, having said that, a person who's trying to change a habit that they've had for 20 years might have a bit more difficulty than somebody who's trying to change a habit they've had for a year. So the 28-day rule is the general rule, but it might take longer depending on how long somebody's had that habit for.
Ah, cool. And what would you say, like, your biggest success stories today, or thrill? What sort of people, you know, oh, sorry, I've got my leg stuck under the table. What sort of, where do your clients come from, and what sort of area do, you know, sort of success rate do you get?
It's a very, I don't know how to answer this question because there's so many different types of successes, But I think to basically for me, it's looking at somebody coming and going, I really want to make this change in my life. I really want this. I just can't do it. I can't take action. I'm just procrastinating. And to work with somebody and literally see, a month later, we look at how far they've come. Their life has changed. Once somebody's achieved their goals, and they've had that experience and confidence that they're able to succeed, that as well is success in its own. So it's not only achieving their goals, but them actually going, wow, it changes their life because suddenly they're empowered to take that and change other aspects. So the success is much longer. But for me, I mean, people, being able to basically, if you're looking for a specific example of a client, that's specific. I don't know if you know where to go.
I'm just wondering because I can think of people that I know that I've helped with social media. I help people learn how to, take on the challenge of social media and face their fears with regards to actually even making a post on Facebook. And I can think of clients, that have gone. I've shown them how to do tagging, and they're absolutely thrilled, and they never even knew that it was something you could do. So I was just wondering if you had any examples like that.
Yes, completely. I mean, so the one thing is I won't go so specific just because of the confidentiality thing. But for example, like,
cool.
Some would be like, I can't do this. I've been procrastinating. So is that you're picking up. But to answer in the general ways, if somebody's been like procrastinating, I had this client and they just wanted to go to the gym. For example, they were overweight, they just wanted to go, and they couldn't do it. And for years, they tried everything. And, working with them, again, it's about how you're managing your time to be able to go to that and create that habit. So time management actually is the term that most people are familiar with, but it's actually about what do you want to be doing with your time, and then how do you manage it to make that happen. So even, people achieving going to the gym and they've never done that and achieving those goals, is for some people life-changing, and for me that's a huge success.
Well, do you know what? I could actually listen and talk to you a lot longer, but we've sort of nearly reached our 15 minutes time now. I want to know more about your skills, everything you're doing with the Spanish people, and where you're going to be going with costuming and networking in the future in that area. But tell you what we'll do, I think we'll have you back in for another hangout, and maybe we'll get you and Lucy on together, and we can talk about what's going on up in that part of Spain.
That would be absolutely wonderful, Fiona. I think that's a great idea, and I'd love to take that on. So thank you.
Okay. So listen, thank you ever so much for taking time out of your day to chat with us. And I think you're going to get quite a lot of inquiries. I'm going to make sure we share the video and put all your details underneath, because I'm actually quite intrigued by it. It's a different approach it's, as opposed to lifestyle coaching or life coaching. It sounds much more interesting, more applicable and appropriate to what we actually need to be doing today.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. And yeah, anyone can contact me directly via my website to get more information, and it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you for this opportunity as well, Fiona.
Okay. Well, thank you. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Fabulous. You too. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.